So here's an update for you. I have the first coat of the linseed oil onto the gun stock, and it's actually feeling dry today, and it's nice and smooth. It's really coming along, and I haven't done a whole lot to it. If you can see the pattern, the wood grain, I mean, it's already beautiful now. So I mean, I think it's gonna be really, really, really nice when it's done. So just a little update on the stock. You may be asking yourself, where's the barrel? Well, funny story. It's not here right now because I'm an idiot. And I don't hear anybody out there disagreeing with that one. But what happened was I was going to fit all the pieces onto the gun at one time because they recommend that. They say that's what you should do. Make sure everything fits, the trigger and all the screws and just everything. Make sure the barrel gets on there because you may have to do some sanding or filing to make sure everything fits just right before you really finish it. So that's what I was doing, and I was putting on this piece. That's a little piece that goes right under the barrel with 2 screws, and it holds the ramrod in place. And it has this little attachment for a sling. Now a muzzle loader doesn't need a sling, but it does need a ramrod. If you intend to fire it, it does anyways. So I noticed the screws to this were very, very tiny. I mean, very tiny. This is one of the screws right here. I mean, look at this. I mean, that's little. That's little, and they go right into the gun barrel. So it goes up through, holds it onto your barrel. Well, it wasn't really tight as it could be, and I decided to go ahead and tighten it. And just my little screwdriver, you know, these little things, but I had to use because the screw was so tiny, just wasn't doing the trick. So I went ahead and I used this one. And I snapped the head of the screw right off. And I was then screwed. So there I am with the screw in the barrel, and the head of the screw is right here. I mean, snapped it right off. Not happy about that, and stupid on my part. And you know, it was funny because I wasn't, I wasn't like strong arming it. I was just tightening, and that's all it took. That's all it took. My first thought was maybe pliers, but it's so small, and the piece that was sticking out was also so close to the barrel, and pliers were not going to work. That was not the answer. So I thought maybe I'll take my Dremel and I'll use this, and I'll just make a new notch. I'll just make a little notch in what was left of the screw, and then maybe I can take one of these little screwdrivers and just, even if I can get it just like a quarter of a turn each time, I'll slowly get that screw out of there. But it didn't work. I was able to make a new notch, but it was just, there wasn't enough. There wasn't enough of the screw for the screwdriver to really be able to turn it. So I had to take it to a gunsmith. And there's my second problem. Back in Pennsylvania, I personally know a gunsmith that is our family gunsmith, and he's worked on a ton of our guns. He continues to work on a ton of our guns. We take everything to him. And then we even have a muzzleloader gunsmith that he recommended because he specializes in muzzleloaders. So we kind of have 2 people we know that we could have taken anything, any kind of gun, any kind of problem. That's who we go to. Well, here in Texas, which is where I am now, I don't have that. So I had to go find one, and I did. I found a small place, and I really liked it. I walked in, and it was basically Cabela's if it was all just in like a 20 by 30 building. Real nice little place. I liked it right away. So they're going to have to drill down and get that screw out. That's about the only way that they can figure. So that's where it is right now. That's where the barrel is and the broken screw. And I have to wait now for that. But that's okay because I'll work on the stock in the meantime. And this is embarrassing for me. I wasn't even going to tell anybody about it. I wasn't going to put this in the video. But then it occurred to me that if anybody out there is watching this, you know, all 2 or 3 of you, and you're deciding to do a project like this, and you've never done it before, and maybe you're just looking for some advice or some tips, well, here's some advice from me, a moron that now has to deal with this problem because I didn't take this advice, which is take your time. Just take your time. Be gentle. I mean, these may be metal parts and it's made out of wood, but be gentle, be calm. If it's not going, just stop. Just stop. Just calm down for a second. And I wasn't angry. I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't trying to force it, but obviously I did a lot more than I should have done, or it wouldn't have just snapped off like that. So that's my advice. There's a tip. If you really want a good tip, is just take your time. Just go easy. It's nice and easy. The screw should go in without any problems. Looking back, since it's so small and the threads were so tiny, I probably was stripping it the whole time and didn't know. And that's why it wouldn't go down the whole way. And that's why even this screwdriver just snapped it off because it probably was stripped the whole time. Looking back in retrospect, I mean, probably what happened. So go slow. Take your time. It's not a race. You know, you don't need a ton of muscle and power and force to put this thing together. It should not be that difficult. And if it is, you just need to step back, take a breath, take it out slowly, and try again. And just take your time. I was excited, and I don't have a lot of time to work on this, and I think that was part of my problem is I got so excited. I just wanted to see it all together. I wanted to put them all together and get all the screws in and all the parts on. And I don't blame myself for being excited, but I do blame myself for being careless. So don't be careless. Just take your time, because this isn't going anywhere. You know, it's not going to get away from me. And it's just a lot of fun. So have fun with it, but don't do what I did and be stupid and make yourself a lot more work, or cost yourself more money, because now I have to pay some guy to take care of a problem that I created because I needed to just relax and not be the bull in the china shop that I can be. So that's the update for that. Stock coming along. You know, barrel, not here yet. So stay tuned.